Hi, it's Danny, and the other day was my 18 months on testosterone, so I suppose technically speaking, my 18-month anniversary, because that's the technical term for it. I did briefly kind of go through my 1 year video, and it was pretty boring. I'm not surprised if people didn't, it's so self-involved. However, really it's not about me being self-involved, it's about me sharing my experience with people that I otherwise couldn't see in everyday life and hopefully helping them. And that has been happening, and that's great. I get emails, I get people asking for my phone number, and we'll have a conversation about their experiences of gender and sex and about transitioning and the such. And that's what it's all about for me, so that's wonderful. In that last video a year ago, I mentioned that I was feeling pretty depressed. I am not depressed at the moment. I still have my moments. However, I tend to be getting better, like it's better to be well. Like, well is the standard normalized, anyway, I'm not depressed at the moment, so that's good. I did, as I mentioned, change to Promethazine, and that's a shorter acting testosterone. I'm not saying excuse me. Oops. Anyway, so that's a shorter acting testosterone, and so I'm having a shot every 2 weeks, occasionally having a top up, just depending, like if I'm feeling basically what I would consider to be premenstrual, if I'm feeling flat and uncomfortable and not sure, and it's really about the comparative low and high with testosterone. I find like it's not about it being always high, always low. It's about it being relatively stable. That's not having these troughs, you know. Yeah. So, if I'm feeling like I'm getting into a bit of a trough, then I will have an extra shot, and that's okay with my doctors, etc. Because I mean, most people take more than what I am. I'm still not taking a high dose. However, my body uses it really well, so I don't have to have that much. So yeah, I did change to Promethazine. Anyway, what was the other thing that I mentioned? I don't remember. Alright, so what I used to do in my first at least 6 months of transitioning, I was doing a video for myself every few weeks, and I did it based on like themes. And the themes were sexual, social, medical, and emotional. So I'm going to kind of do that with this a little bit. So, do the sexual last. Do the emotional last. Okay, social. Social's interesting. What I've discovered is that as a non-binary trans person, or as an androgynous person, as an omnigendered person, whatever you want to, I refuse to choose. I have discovered that I feel that the differences between my own experience and the experience of F to M's is actually, we have more in common than we do in difference. However, there appears to be a discrepancy in a lot of the gender congruence, that the idea of masculinity is owned by men, and that kind of, and I'm going to embody a man by, taking testosterone over, because they are men, of course. So how they get to default to male socially. This is part of my social update. I cannot default to male, so I'm learning to renegotiate my friendships and ways of being in the world without necessarily being read as agender, and sometimes, well, actually always as the wrong gender, because I'm constantly misgendered. Come to accept this is how it's going to be. I'm working on that. I mean, I really don't mind. And I'll get back to that. Yeah, so the kind of, I can't just default to male standards, male behaviours, male, I can't just go to that and rely on that like a lot of F to M guys do. And so that's been a massive challenge for me, which again is, like I mentioned in some of my other videos, it's really just about owning yourself and making your own way, that kind of thing, and that's what I've been doing consistently. The only time misgendering upsets me is if it's a partner. One of my partners at the moment likes calling me he in social situations, and they're making the effort now not to so much, so that's great. But that, it doesn't concern me that they call me he more so much. It's like, do you see me as a guy? Seriously? And then if it's also like in the social thing of when I meet new people and they read me as male, because I look like a drag queen when I'm in a dress, which is great because I always wanted to. But when they read me as male, and then friends of mine who knew me previous to T who are calling me she, it confuses the people that I've just met who are reading me as male, and I can see them going, and it automatically outs me. So if I'm having a day where I'm not really comfortable in myself to be myself and I just want to get on with my day, I will dress and purposely try to pass as male just to get on with the day. I don't want to do that. That is not me. However, in this world, sometimes it's just easier. And other times I try to put on the airs and graces of a woman, because of someone who's female or whatever, because I'm in the female toilets or something like that, or I feel that I want some kind of female privilege, which for me has been an ongoing issue, letting that go, because I don't have the male privilege to default to. People say there is no such thing as female privilege. I beg to differ. I've had strong feminist leanings my entire life, and the whole concept of feminism is based on the fact that there is female, that there is this, you know, standard. I'm very queer in that. I'm very postmodern. I'm very just deconstructed. There is no kind of, you know, again, identity politics. It's a hard one. However, in saying all that, finding that negotiating not being able to default to male interesting, especially because my body is changing even more so. Like I shaved today, you know, and you know, just even training today at the gym and you know, taking my shirt off and wearing just my sports bra, because I have a chest, like the chest I was not born with, that just grew there, but you know, so, and a beard, and that really, it kind of fucks with my head. Like some things don't, like I'm so stoked about so many things, but the facial hair with the boobs, I go a bit, still not sure about the facial hair. I just want the insinuation of it, not the real deal. So I'm shaving a couple times a week now, and after 18 months, I suppose I got lucky. I'm not hairy. It's saying that my snail trail's gone. Anyway, that's more part of the physical update. So yeah, socially, it's it's interesting to note how people treat me very differently depending on how they read me, and particularly alpha males, and people who are very stuck in their set gender. I mean, you know, it's the whole kind of, I was born female, therefore I'm going to identify with the female gender, and therefore I'm going to be heterosexual as well. So I question all of that when I walk into a room and open my voice or open my mouth, or just be myself, you know, which I am most days, which is good. Okay, so also it's interesting for me, like I wear tradie pants and big boots, but I'll still wear my pearls and a couple of earrings or whatever, because it's just good. It's so good to be in a body that I can actually work with that. Like I've got something to work with now. So, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't feel restricted. I mean, I wouldn't say that being in a female body restricted my gender presentation. It didn't as such. However, I'm not doing it because of a fear or a feeling of lack of or an insecurity. I'm doing it to build on who I already am, which is who I already am sitting here, which is, I'm going to swear, which is pretty brilliant when you think about it. So I thank my lucky stars for that every single day. So medical update, well, yeah, I did change to promethazine, and I haven't slowed down on my dose. Not really, well, it depends how you look at it, because it's a shorter acting testosterone. I'm actually having more, however it doesn't last as long, so it depends on kind of how you look at it. I'm comfortable with where I'm at and what I'm doing, so I don't really feel the need to back off on it. The only thing I have issues with, like I said, is actually